Hey everybody, it's me, Steve. There's the date and time as I begin recording this. I'm going to do a little, demonstration here more than an experiment. I'm going to demonstrate how wind chill doesn't mean anything. The wind chill factor related to actual temperature. You could probably hear it howling behind me. I'm in my shed right now. That way is south. Basically, I bought a couple of cheap thermometers, same brand. I bought two of them. They were in the floor of my truck, so they're not, they say it's a little warmer than it actually is right now, okay? But I will show you when they stabilize and lower to the outside temperature here, which is this actual temperature here. And you can also see wind speed here. I do not have any way to accurately measure wind speed, so I'm just going to have to rely on this. You can see that we have significant amount of wind right now, and we will until this afternoon. So what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Well, I'm going to keep one of these in the shed when I open it, all right? I'm going to leave my shed door here, this is north, open. And the reason why I'm going to do that is so the air temperature in here can stabilize, because it can actually be a couple degrees warmer in here, especially if I'm standing around in it for a while like this. And I'm going to put another one on my front porch. The reason why I'm recording this part in here so you don't hear the wind gusting in the microphone, all right? But I will show you, you're probably going to hear it when I set it up, but we need to figure out if this is, I want to make sure no wind is coming in from the north, and it's not, and I'm going to show you that here. At least show you which direction the wind is coming from. There's my neighbor's flag, and it's actually blowing kind of northish. That way is north, okay? And here's mine, and you can see here we got a little bit of turbulence because his is going one way and mine's going basically from west to east. Now his has changed direction, all right? So what I am going to do, here's the shed, is I will keep this door open, but I'm going to keep it only slightly open, so we make sure we don't get any wind coming in here. But you can see we don't really have any wind blowing in here. It's pretty dead in here. But what we have here is our wind chill, feels like. And as you can see, it's about 8 degrees colder than, oh sorry, my bad, not 8 degrees, 7 degrees colder than the actual temperature right now. And I'm going to demonstrate how that doesn't matter. I was hoping I could get a day where it was a lot bigger, and I actually did do this that day. It was really cold with that high wind that we had, but it was at night, and I kind of wanted to do this on a really cloudy day or at night to keep the sun from beating down on the thermometer. So, you know, I'm trying to limit my external factors that could mess us up. But these two thermometers, since they are generic thermometers, oops, sorry, lead pipe, and aren't you know, high quality or anything, but they are within a degree of one another. They do complement each other that way. So I'm expecting a margin of error of no more than plus or minus 3, maybe 4 degrees. Anything outside of that, and I would start to show that there actually is an effect of wind on the temperature of these things. So I'm going to set this up right now, and I'll show you where I set them. They're getting close to stable. Hopefully soon. But it'll be a few minutes before I show you how to set them up. Apparently, Blackie wants to help with the experiment. Do you see him? Hey, buddy, you there? There he is. So, Blackie, you gonna help us with the experiment? Are you, bud? You see, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you can see it. I set one out already. I just gotta wait for the temperatures to stabilize. Okay, well, that took some time, but as you can see, they are pretty close to each other. Before I said plus or minus 3 to 4 degrees, that was my bad. I meant it's good. They're going to be within 3 to 4 degrees if there's no effect due to wind chill. That was my bad. I apologize. I was speaking of tolerance, not plus or minus. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to bring it back to the inside of the shed. All right. So we will just leave this one here. probably leave them here for about half an hour. These things take a little bit. Everything it's all in Fahrenheit. Sorry, that's the way thermometers are here. Convert if you want, but it's not really. What is important is the fact that we are measuring a difference. And why did I say this was a demonstration and not an experiment? Because I have no control. Okay, I don't have a third thermometer for control. I've only got the two I'm utilizing. It's pretty bad out there during this demonstration. Hence, it's a demonstration, not an experiment. But you know, we can still get some data from this and see if wind chill actually matters. So as long as after about half an hour or so, if our temperatures are within the tolerance of 3 to 4 degrees within one another, wind chill has no effect on them. Okay, nothing has really changed. The wind chill factor is still 7 degrees less than the actual air temperature, so that hasn't changed much. So if I remember, I'll get another wind chill factor at the end of this. Okay, as you can see here, our wind chill has actually increased by up to 10. We're at 10 degree difference now, supposedly, between what actual and feels like temperature is. These things have stabilized. I mean, you know, I don't need to give them more time. I'm close to that half hour. I'm going to show you the temperatures here in a second. They're not as accurate as the real temperature, but you know, they are within one another. I'm going to show you that here in a second. But yeah, it's still really, I'm waiting for our tarp to fly off our boat. But anyway, all right, let's look at these thermometers. Okay, here is the first one, and as you can see, by trying to get as straight on as I can, it looks to be between 32 and 33, probably close to 33 to 34 actually, 33 to 34 degrees. So we'll say 33 and a half degrees Fahrenheit, sake of argument. Here's the other one. This one looks to be right at 34, all right? So the one inside is at 33 and a half. This one is at 34. We're within half a degree of tolerance. So wind chill doesn't. Hold on, let me get back inside. Okay, let's sum up this demonstration. So I had two of these, less than $4 Menard deal thermometers, and basically what I wanted to demonstrate here was how the wind does not affect temperature, and wind chill is a non-measurable determination, and it's pulled out of your hindquarters number. There are people who have tried to define it, but the fact remains you can't measure it. So we took these two, I put one outside in the wind, which you can still hear out there, and I let this one stay in here in the shed where there is no wind. And they are the same brand, and as we saw, I allowed some time for them to normalize themselves and become the same temperature, and then I put one outside and one inside. Now the reason for doing this, as I have stated before, was to see if the wind pounding on a thermometer lowers the temperature, something measurable. And as we can see, we made the prediction that as long as the tolerance of the two are within 3 to 4 degrees of one another, there probably is no effect. Now, since I set this out here, I was going to let it go half an hour. I let it go a little over 20 minutes, but that's fine. I don't, because our wind chill actually has dropped. It hasn't, the gap between real and wind and feels like temperature has actually increased. And even with that, our two thermometers are within half a degree of one another. 33 and a half for the one inside, 34, which is actually higher for the one outside directly in the wind. So we are within our tolerance of 3 to 4 degrees of one another. So the conclusion of this, like I said, we have no control. I mean, this is a tentative conclusion, is that the wind has absolutely no effect on the real air temperature. But anyway, that's it. If you want, leave a comment. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and have a good day.